Federal agencies are nearing a deadline of 5 p.m. Eastern time today to stop making grant and loan payments to hundreds of organizations that rely on them to stay open. The move requires federal agencies to identify and review all federal financial assistance programs and supporting activities consistent with the president's policies and requirements, according to a memo. White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt defended the order during the first press briefing of the new Trump administration today.
This is not a blanket pause on federal assistance and grant programs from the Trump administration. Individual assistance, that includes, I'm not naming everything that's included, but just to give you a few examples, Social Security benefits, Medicare benefits, food stamps, welfare benefits, assistance that is going directly to individuals will not be impacted by this pause.
Let's bring in CBS News Chief White House correspondent Nancy Cordes. Nancy, you were in the briefing room. There were a lot of questions about this. You asked about this pause in aid. Take us through that exchange, and what is the full impact as we know it so far?
Sure. So there were a lot of questions in the briefing room about this because there is widespread confusion throughout Washington today about this. You've got Republican and Democratic senators alike saying that they are being bombarded with phone calls from panicked organizations in their states who are trying to figure out if their federal funding is about to be cut off, and if so, for how long. So that's what I asked Karoline Leavitt about today in her first White House briefing. Take a listen to what she had to say.
It is a temporary pause, and the Office of Management and Budget is reviewing the federal funding that has been going out the door. Again, not for individual assistance, but for all of these other programs that I mentioned. I also spoke with the incoming director of OMB this morning, and he told me to tell all of you that the line to his office is open.
So she wouldn't say how long the pause will last. I also asked her what organizations that rely on federal funding to stay open should do if they suddenly find themselves cut off from federal funds. How should they make payroll? How should they pay their rent? She said that they should try to touch base with OMB, though it's unclear what OMB could do for them if they're not receiving their regularly scheduled federal funding. She insisted, Lindsay, that this does not apply to direct assistance to individuals, things like Social Security and Medicare. She added that it doesn't. There's a new memo out, rather, that from the OMB that says that it doesn't apply to SNAP, to funding for meals. It doesn't apply to Medicaid. However, there are reports from Capitol Hill and from governors around this country that the Medicaid portal that states rely on to get reimbursed by the federal government is down. Conflicting reports about whether it's down in some states or even all states. And so there seems to be some conflict between what we're hearing from OMB and what we're hearing from folks on the ground, which is possibly to be expected when you issue a memo ordering a freeze of this magnitude and ordering that it happen just 18 hours after the memo goes out.
Certainly much more to be figured out and discussed as it relates to that. But what else stood out to you from today's press briefing?
Well, she took questions from around the room in a very packed briefing room, made a point of saying that she would be taking more questions from folks in new media, from podcasters, from individuals with online outlets, even creating a new seat in the briefing room that is typically held by White House staffers. And she said it will now be the purview of a rotating group of new media members, so she can take questions from them. She made some news right off the top of the briefing about an issue that really captivated the American public over the past couple months, and that was the slew of drones that people saw over the state of New Jersey. She said that she had spoken to the president in the Oval Office, and he said that a lot of these drones had been authorized by the FAA itself, and that there were hobbyists who were flying drones as well, and that led to the clogging of the skies that people saw with lots of drones all up in the air at the same time. But she reiterated that it was not a cause for a security concern.
Nancy Cordes, thank you.
You're welcome.